Hello and welcome to our Goosebumps retrospective. Today we're reviewing Goosebumps number 3, Monster Blood.
We have our rules for drinking. The protagonist has just moved. We take a shot. The protagonist is staying with a relative. We take a shot. The book has a dark twist ending. We take a shot. Character in the book shares one of our names, which is
Ned or Kevin.
Jason.
Or Jason. And Bob, Bobby, Robert, Rob,
Or Bob.
Bobby J.
Bobby Valentino.
Grandmaster B.
Well, while Ned is pouring our inaugural shot, why don't we...
Let's go to my sister Amy for how this shot is made. Amy?
Thanks, guys. Today's shot is 1 part whiskey, 1 part apple mix, a splash of sour, and enjoy. I'm gonna save that for later. Back to you guys.
Well, that sounds great, doesn't it?
Oh, this doesn't sound great.
Oh, that looks great too.
It looks like
cactus
Monster
juice.
Blood.
I'm not
Smells
excited.
good.
Yeah.
No, it smells like
Oh,
bad
God.
assholes. Oh.
Not nearly as bad as the first couple shots.
That
My
was
nipples
our...
got hard in that one.
Yeah, mine did too. Unfortunately, for our rules of drinking, the protagonist is staying with the relative. The main character, Ned, will you please pour us some more shots?
Oh, yes, I would
The
be
main
delighted.
character, a 12-year-old named
Evan.
Evan Ross. He is taken to his great aunt's house, his Aunt Catherine, to stay while his parents go scope out houses in Hotlanta. Here's to staying with a relative.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, now it's starting to be bad. I would also like to point out that not only is Evan staying with a relative, he's also just moved. Or they're about to move, and
He hasn't moved.
they're about to move, and I feel like that's so close to the rule that we have to do a third shot.
Well, let me tell you a secret.
That's shot 3.
Time to do a motherfucking shot.
Here's to moving.
Fucking
Moving.
What was the tagline on the cover? By
The
the way?
tagline of Monster Blood.
It's a Monster Blood drive.
There was very little driving.
Aunt Catherine, great Aunt Catherine,
Is deaf.
is a deaf woman.
Yep.
She is this old woman that Evan really doesn't know.
Hello, Evan.
Evan's disappointed at being in his great aunt's house. She's got no TV. She's got no Nintendo. All Evan's got is Trigger, his dog.
He's like, I'm gonna walk the dog. I have nothing else to do. Starts walking the dog, and in the classic kind of like, oh, what's the suspense? He hears like, hey, you! And then it goes to the next chapter, and it's this girl on her BMX bike named Andrea.
And Andrea, I think is how you
Andrea.
pronounce it.
Hi, I'm Andy.
She's like, I've got to buy my cousin a birthday present. They go to this toy store trying to find something.
Then he goes in the back room where he's not supposed to be, finds this can, it looks like a soup can.
I believe it's marked Monster Blood.
Whoa! Monster Blood.
No ingredients or anything.
Finds some
written on it.
Monster Blood, okay? Got his hand on the can. Hand on the can, people here.
Hand on the can.
Hand on the can! Anyway.
Can I call a timeout really fast?
Okay.
Let's do a shot.
No, we better not. You're just scared.
We're doing a random shot. I like it. Then whatever.
Hey, gotta keep it zany.
In a lot of books or television or whatever mediums, you would have one zany character or one funny character. I like that this book did Evan and Andy, 2 funny,
They worked
snarky characters.
well together.
And it worked
Here's
well.
to working well together.
Working
Here's to-
well.
wow. Evan buys the Monster Blood from the mysterious toy shop. Him and Andy,
Go back to Aunt Catherine's.
they get the Monster Blood open and they're like, oh, it's really cool to the touch.
Stick
Look
your
at-
finger in it.
It bounces. They decide to take the Monster Blood out to the backyard and toss it back and forth like a rubber ball. The ball of Monster Blood lands in front of Trigger the dog.
Trigger, no!
And Trigger eats it, and they're like, oh no, he ate the monster.
No. Not Trigger.
Trigger is growing from eating the Monster Blood.
like
He's choking on his collar.
Should've let him die.
You know,
He's
Evan.
not a cat.
Oh.
Evan gets the collar off of Trigger in time, and he's like, "Oh, why was he choking?"
You look kind of bigger. He starts to notice the monster blood doesn't quite fit in the old monster blood can anymore. It's like bubbling over.
Bubbling over and over. They put it in a coffee can, it overflows in the coffee can.
They put this in so many.
They
different-
put it in a bucket, it overflows in the bucket. They put it in a trash bag to try to take it back to the toy store.
Out of business. Out of business.
Out of business.
Out of business.
What a cliffhanger.
The toy shop's closed. No explanation. This monster blood keeps growing. The dog, he at one point is like, this dog's almost the size of a pony.
It's like we've got a 10-foot Trigger running around the neighborhood. Should we go look for him? No.
Do you bitches
Anyway.
want to do a shot?
Yeah,
I'm kinda drunk.
let's do it. Great Aunt Catherine has a cat.
Oh yeah, that's another point I made.
Sarah Beth.
Beth.
And you know Sarah Beth, the cat, must be important because her name isn't Mr. Whiskers.
Here's
Yeah,
to cats.
Here's to cats.
Oh, you cheered.
Not the
it.
musical, though.
The monster blood starts to grow. It starts chasing them. It gets to his house. Aunt Catherine freaks out. Blob's got Aunt Catherine cornered. I picture Aunt Catherine in a corner like this. She's like, she did this. And he turns and it's like, oh, she pointed and it was Andy. Cliffhanger, next chapter. She wasn't pointing at Andy. She was pointing at Sarah Beth the cat.
That child is no cat.
The cat, like, transforms into a person. She's like, then she cast a spell on me to be deaf, and then she made me her slave and wouldn't let me learn sign language or how to read lips.
The dog, Trigger, who is pony size at this point,
Yes.
comes charging through the door, sees Evan, gets excited.
Get her, Trigger! Nice puppy. Shoot! Get yourself a bones.
Sarah Beth gets absorbed by the monster blood. And it's like, oh, it's all over. Sarah Beth is gone. Catherine, Great
Can
Aunt
hear
Catherine, can hear again.
What a relief.
And they both turn to see where the monster blood is, and it's gone. I feel like we need to vote on whether or not
America.
America.
We win.
Well,
Shut up, Russia.
I think because the monster blood disappeared when they were looking away, that it is a dark ending in that the monster blood has gotten away and will live on to terrorize some other story or people or whatever.
I don't think it's a dark ending. It didn't have that twist at all.
When I finished the book, I thought, knowing the rules in advance, we were gonna have to take a shot.
That doesn't count.
I'm just
You
telling-
also know that there's 2 more monster blood books.
I do know that.
3
But-
more. There's part
Well, there
4.
are
There are 4?
3. You're
There are
right.
4 of
One of
them.
the last ones is Monster Blood 4.
All right, can we do the shot anyway because we're out of the
Yeah,
stuff.
let's do it.
More
We're out
of
of
the
the
story.
stuff.
2 to 1. That it's not a dark ending.
Cheers.
But we're doing a
Don't
shot
cheers
anyway.
Jason.
We're doing
Just
a
cheers
shot.
us.
God.
Personally, I feel this episode has a lot of like hope for good graphic effects, like seeing a pony-sized cocker
Dog,
spaniel
yeah.
and the giant glob bouncing down the street. I really hope we see these things.
I predict that whole scene with monster blood where it's bouncing down the street, they won't even do it. They're not gonna do a giant 20-foot monster blood sphere. I can't even out on a second bet, but I guarantee that the main character won't be a redhead. Ned, do you have any predictions for the television
My
monster blood?
cat wins.
She does not have black hair.
She can't even hear.
Yeah, she's deaf. Why is she listening to music?
Eat one of these.
Sugar cookie.
You fucking high and eating that shit.
Keep looking for stuff to stop it with. It's no use, that won't stop it.
Here's some rags.
Here, let's stick
Slow
a
it
towel
down.
in front of it.
up, little mommy? She's tall. I can have normal sized kids with her.
Oh my god, that's awful.
That's like Clifford.
So Jason, did we drink enough this time?
As the footage may have shown, I may have had a bit too much to drink.
There's the drunk Jason we know and love. Jason's cool. Sort of.
Quick, there's a bucket under the bathroom sink.
Do I take the bucket or am I gonna handle this myself?
I don't have any idea what he just said.
It was all over my shoes and everything.
If you can't tell by now, it is several days later. I woke up on Ned's couch in the dark, not sure where I was. And yes, clearly I had too much to drink. But I think we all had too much to drink. Some people here got hit and slap happy.
I was wrong.
Oh, damn, dude, that was a
That
hit.
wasn't that hard.
Yes.
The Greybeards are in Skyrim.
So let's talk about the episode of Monster Blood.
It was terrible.
It was pretty bad.
Oh my god. It was a lump of shit wrapped in shit.
My big issue with it, they could draw a plotless book like Stay Out of the Basement across 2 episodes, but Monster Blood got compressed into one really confusing episode.
They technically made it 2, but the whole book was put in the first episode, and then they just made
And
a
then that
second
was it.
episode of nonsense that we didn't bother watching because it's not based on a book. His great aunt wasn't deaf.
There was no toy store. They cut that.
Yeah, he finds the monster blood in a glass jar, in a cabinet, in a room he shouldn't have gone in.
And whatever you do, stay out of the room across the hall.
Stay out of the basement!
And what's great is Great Aunt Catherine, when she's confessing to all this in the end, she goes, I tried to hide it as best I could.
Then I locked it up and hoped that no one would ever find it.
It was on her shelf in her guest bedroom.
I tried to hide it as best I could.
To the episode's credit, they did actually try to give Sarah Beth backstory by saying she was a lodger that
Just
came to
kinda-
stay with her, and then Great Aunt Catherine caught her practicing her Wiccan things, and that was kind of cool because in the book it's just like she's a witch, and that's it. Well, the episode was a stinker.
Oh god.
Let's talk about the book. How would you guys rate Monster Blood, the book?
I liked Monster Blood more than Stay Out of the Basement for sure.
Yeah, it definitely had more to it than. There's more scenes. There's more sets. Whatever
I
you
liked
wanna
that
call
Aunt
it.
Catherine was deaf and just how Evan reacted with it.
I would give Monster Blood an 8 out of 10.
I give it a 7.
Yeah, I would give it a 7. It wasn't quite there, but it's pretty good.
Well, I think that about wraps it up for Monster Blood. Join us next time for...
Say cheese.
And